Hey everyone, welcome back to part 3. So the last blocks that need to be placed are the spruce wood planks and the pumpkin. So let's start off with the spruce wood planks and be sure to take out your bookshelf. Also, remember in part 1 where I told you to click on the annotation that was at the top center of the video, and there was also a link in the description in part 1 where I told you to go watch that video because this is where it pays off because you're not going to understand a single thing. Well, actually, you might, but you won't understand most of it if you didn't go watch that video that I linked in part 1 of this tutorial. Alright, so let's start off at the bottom right of this pixel art. It's going to be the hair, so all that's remaining is just the hair. So let's just put in the hair details. So this is going to be the 5 blank walls that go up, and we're going to go to the left. We'll count 2 over. So this is 1, 2. So start on this space, and with the spruce wood, you'll place 4 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll count 2 over. This is going to be the space. That's 1, 2. And starting from here, we'll place 7 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Now let's move a little to the left until we find this area. And what we'll do here is place 1 spruce wood plank there. And now on top of this black wool, we'll place 4 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And now, starting at the bottom next to this spruce wood, we'll place 2 blocks going up alongside of it. 1, 2. So it looks like that. Okay? So now let's move down a bit and move to the next area, which is here. Starting on top of this black wool, we'll place 5 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that. Now we'll move down, and starting right here where this area is, we'll place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. So it looks like that. Okay? Let's move a bit to the left again until we find this area. And then we'll place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. So it looks exactly like that. Alright? So now let's move up until we find this area where it's the 3 blocks going across. That's on top of the 2 blocks that we just placed. I want you to find this block here. And on top of this block, we'll place 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So starting on top of it. So that's 1, 2, 3. So it looks like that. Alright, so now let's follow this path until we get to this area up here. And we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal starting next to this black wool. 1, 2. So it looks like that. Alright. Next, we'll switch to our placement block, and then we'll put a block right next to that on the right side. So it looks like that. Alright, now let's switch back to the spruce wood. And starting next to it, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So it looks like this. That's 1. Oops. And 2. So that's 2 diagonal. You can go ahead and remove the placement blocks after that. And now we'll place 2 blocks going across to the right side on the lower level. So it looks like this. 1, 2. Now that we got that, we'll place 3 blocks going diagonal down to the right. And the reason why I'm deleting the placement blocks right away is because there's not much left to this pixel art other than the details in your hair. So now let's do 3 blocks going diagonal from here. So let's just do 1. This is going to the bottom right, of course. It's 1, 2, and 3. So let's just delete those. So that's 3 blocks diagonal. Now let's move up from the 2 blocks going across. Let's move up until we find this area here. And then starting on top of this black wool, or underneath it rather, we'll place 5 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that. That's 5 blocks going diagonal. Okay, so now let's move up until we get to this area here. Now, let's go and find this 1 block here that's on top of these 2 blocks going across. So from this 1 block, I want you to place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left, starting next to this block here. So that's 1 and 2. So let's just delete that. And now we'll go and find these 2 black wools going across. That's just right next to it. Starting on the right block here, we'll place a placement block, and then we'll just switch back to the spruce wood planks. And then starting on top of this, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2. So it looks like that. And now from this block, we'll place 4 blocks going up on the right side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like that. Okay, so now let's move to this one block here, this one black wall, and we'll place 6 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we'll place 3 blocks going up on the right side of it. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now let's move to the other section. Let's move to this section right here. One that's diagonal, going up to the left. And starting on top of this black wall here, we'll place 4 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like that. Alright, so now let's move a bit to the left until we find this spot here. On top of this black wall, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So 1, 2. And now we'll place 4 blocks going up on the right side of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we'll place, from here, we'll place 2 blocks going up on the left side of it. So 1, 2. So it looks like that. Alright. Next, we'll place a placement block next to this block here on the left side of it. Now switch back to the spruce wood. Now next to this, we'll place 4 blocks going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just delete the placement block. So it looks like that. Alright, so now starting from this block, we'll place 2 blocks going up to the left side of it. 1, 2. So it looks like that. Then just delete that. And then we'll place 3 blocks going up, starting on top of this black wall here. So 1, 2, 3. So it looks like that. Okay, so now let's move down until we find this large section right here. So let's start at the bottom. Now I want you to find this area here. Alright, this area here. Now what you're going to do, starting, let's see, on top of this black wall, the second one over, this one right here, where it's 2 blocks going up. Starting on top of this section right here, I want you to place a total of 4 sets of 2s going across the left side on the upper level. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. 4 sets of 2s. And then we'll place 1 block on top of this block here, so it looks like that. And believe me, this is nothing compared to what I'm going to be instructing you to do when we get to the top part of your hair. It's going to be very confusing, but I'll make sure to go slow during that part. Alright, so let's go back down here to where we had the 2 blocks going across. Now we're going to move 3 over. So this is 1, 2, 3. And on the third one, you'll place a placement block there. So there's a 2 space gap here between these 2 blocks. Alright, so let's switch back to the spruce wood. Now, on top of it, this block, we'll place 6 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should look like that, and it should stop like going diagonal right there, so it should match up that. So let's just delete these like so. Alright, so now that we have the 6 blocks going diagonal, let's move across until we find these 2 black walls going up, not the ones that are next to this one, but this one right here. And then we'll place 3 blocks going up from it. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then we'll place 1 block going diagonal. That's just going to be right there. Alright, so now let us move up until we get to this area. And you'll place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2, filling that in. And then on the lower level, we'll place 4 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like this. Okay. Next, we'll place a block underneath this. So it looks like that. Alright. So now let's move over here. Underneath this black wall, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2. So it looks like that. Okay. Next, I want you to go underneath this block here to where we had the 4 blocks going across on the right one. Underneath this block, I want you to place 2 placement blocks going down. 1, 2, so it looks like that. Then switch back to the spruce wood planks, and starting underneath the placement block, I want you to place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2. And then from this block, I want you to place 2 blocks going down on the right side of it. So 1, 2. So it looks like that. And then you just delete the placement blocks. Okay, now I want you to find these 4 blocks going up that has 3 blocks going diagonal from it. Underneath this blank wall, I want you to place 5 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like this. Okay, now let's move up to the next section. Actually, before we do that, let's move down here to where we have this L-shaped thing, because I forgot to place a block here. Just place a block right there. There we go, and that should be, well, almost the end of her hair on the right side. This is the last part right here. Okay, so let's find these 2 blank walls that are going across, and starting on top of this blank wall, we'll place 3 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3. Now, on the next side, on the right side, let's place 4 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like that. And then from here, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right side from this blank wall. So that's 1, 2. And then just follow this path until you find these 2 blocks going up. And underneath it, you'll place 6 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like this. Now, from the 6 blocks going down, I want you to place 2 blocks going down on the left side of it. So 1, 2. So it looks like that. And then 2 blocks going diagonal from the... Actually, yeah, 2 blocks going diagonal to the left side. So that's 1, 2. So it looks like this. Okay? Now let's move down to a lower level, and on top of this blank wall, I want you to place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, and then 2 blocks going up on the right side of it. So 1, 2, so it looks like that. Okay. Now let's move down to a lower level, and on top of this blank wall, I want you to place 3 blocks going diagonal to the right. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now, from this block, I want you to place 5 blocks going up to the right side. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it should look exactly like this. Alright, so now we're done with the right side of her hair. So now let's move to the left side, starting from the bottom. I want you to find this area here, to where we have the end stone, and place 1 block there. So it looks like that, okay? Next, let's move to the, let's move right here to this side, to where we have the 2 blocks going diagonal and the 6 blocks going up. Starting in between these 2, I want you to place 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. So it looks like that. Okay. Next, I want you to place 2 sets of 2s going across. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright. Now you're going to be placing a length 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. Then you'll place a linked 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. And then a linked 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. And then a linked 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. And then on top of this block, you'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2. So you get this L shape here. So it should look exactly like this. Okay. So now let's move back down to where we started and look up. And underneath this black wall, I want you to place 2 blocks going down. 1, 2. So it looks like that. Okay, so now let's move a little bit to the left until we find the first 2 blocks going across. And on top of the first block here, on the right side, you'll put a placement block, and then switch back to the spruce wood. And then starting on top of this block, we'll place 5 blocks going diagonal up to the left side. 5 blocks diagonal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 blocks going diagonal, and it should look like this so far. Alright, so now let's start from the 5th block that we just placed right here. And we'll place 2 blocks going across on the upper level from it, so that's 1, 2. And now we'll place 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left side. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 blocks going diagonal. Now let's move up, still in the same area. We'll place 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. And then underneath the first block that we placed, we'll place a block underneath that. Alright, so now let's move down a bit to the right until we find these 2 black walls going across. And on the right side of it, underneath it, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2. So it looks exactly like this. Alright, so now let's move down and a little bit to the right until we find this area. And then let's start from the 6 blocks going up. And we'll count 2 over. So this is 1, 2. And on this block, I want you to place 7 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there should be a block space between these 2. And then we'll do the same thing here. A block space between this stack of spruce wood planks and black wool. So start right here in the middle of it. So there's a space there. And we'll place 4 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it should look like this. Now let's move up a bit until we find this area right here to where's the 7 blocks going up. Underneath it, we'll place 3 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like this. So now let's move diagonal up to the left a bit until we find this area. And on top of these 2 blocks, I want you to place 2 blocks going across. So it looks like that. And then a placement block on top of the right one. So it looks like this. And then 4 blocks going up on top of this placement block. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just delete that. So it looks like this. Now let's move up a bit till we find this area. And then I want you to place 3 blocks going down underneath this black wool here. So 1, 2, 3. Then move up and just fill in this gap with spruce wood planks. And then go underneath this end stone and place a block there. So it looks exactly like this. Alright, so now we are ready to move to the next section. Move a little bit to the left till we find this area. Alright, so let's start at the bottom right side of it. And from here, you'll place 3 blocks going diagonal up to the, let's see, up to the left side, obviously. Alright, so let's just place that, that, and that. And just delete these 2. So it should look like this. 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. And now let's move up and follow along this, the 6 blocks going up. Alright, so let's see. Starting on top of the 6 blocks going up, just move 1 down on this block. And starting from there, that's going to be the first block that we place. It's going to be 4 blocks diagonal. So this is the first block. So that's 1, whoops, 2, 3, 4. So just delete that. And it should look exactly like this. Alright. So now from this block, we'll place 2 blocks going across on the upper level. So 1, 2. And then another 2 blocks going across on the upper level. 1, 2. And then 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1 and 2. Now, we'll place 5 blocks going across, starting next to this black wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that. Let's go ahead and delete the placement blocks. So it should look like this. Alright. Now, starting underneath this spruce wood plank, we'll place 4 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 blocks going diagonal. Okay. And now we'll place 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2. So it looks like that. And then 1 block diagonal from that block. So 1. And it looks like this. Okay? So now let's move back up here. And starting on top of this black wall, we'll place 3 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3. Alright? And now on top of this black wall, we'll place 1 block. Move to the lower level, we'll place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. Then 1 block diagonal from it. And then 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. So it looks like this. Now let's move diagonal up to the right a bit until we find this area. Let's move to the upper level of this space until we find these 5 black walls going across, and we'll place 5 spruce wood planks going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that. And now underneath this 1 black wall here, we'll place 6 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it should touch that black wall there. Alright, so now let's move up. Next to this block, we'll place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. So it looks like this. Okay, now let's move to the left. Underneath this spruce wood plank, we'll place 2 blocks going down. 1, 2, and then 1 diagonal. So it looks like this. Alright, now let's move down. You see where we have these 2 black walls going across, and then this 1 block diagonal. Now, starting from this block here, we'll place 2 blocks diagonal from it. So, to the right side, up to the right side. So that's 1, 2. So it looks like this. Okay, then we'll place 3 blocks going up on the right side of it. So 3 blocks going up, so that's 1, 2, 3. So it looks like this. Then we'll move down a bit until we find this 1 black wall here. And then we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, and then 2 blocks going up on the next level. So it looks like this. Alright, so now let's move up to the next level, this next section here. This is 1 section 2. We're not going to count this as like a divider. So this counts as just 1 section. And let's start on the lower level of it. And we will start next to this black wall here, and we'll place 2 blocks going across from it. So 1, 2. So it looks like that. Okay. Next, we will place 2 blocks going across on top of this black wall now. 1, 2. And then 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we'll place 2 blocks going up. 1, 2 on the next level, following that path. So it looks exactly like this. Okay, so now let's move to this black wall section, these 5 blocks going across. Now from this block, I want you to place, let's see, 3 sets of 2s going up, going on the upper level, going across. 3 sets of 2s going across, actually, not up. 3 sets of 2s going across on the upper level. So it's going to look like, whoops, it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's 3 sets of 2s going across from that black wall there. Make sure you got that. And then 1 block diagonal from this block. So it looks like this. Alright. So now let's move to, let's see, what else is left from this section? Oh yeah, it's this. Let's move up here. To where we had the 4 spruce wood planks going across already. I want you to place 2 blocks going across underneath these black walls. Now let's move to the lower level. Same thing, we'll place 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. Next level, 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. Because it's matching the blocks that are underneath it, or rather on top of it. Now let's go here and place 2 blocks going across. And then we'll place 5 blocks going diagonal down to the right, matching these blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so it looks like this. So now let's move diagonal up to the right a bit until we find this little section here. And let us go up here, starting up here. And where we see these 2 blocks going across, that is next to these 6 blocks going diagonal. And underneath the 2 blocks going across, I want you to place, let's see, it's going to follow this path. So it's going to be 3 sets of 2s going across on the lower level, going to the right side. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 sets of 2s. So now let's go back to the very first block that we just placed in this section, and we'll place 3 blocks going down underneath it. So that's 1, 2, 3. Alright. And then we'll place 2 blocks diagonal down to the left. So that's 1, 2. Alright. So now let's go and follow this path. This is 5 blocks going diagonal. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So find the middle block of the 5 blocks going diagonal. And we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right of it, on top of it. So this middle block here. So that's 1, 2. And just leave that. So it looks like this. And then we'll place, let's see. Yeah, we'll move down here. Move down here to this kind of T section that looks like it fell over. And starting on top of this blank wall, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, and on top of this blank wall, we'll place 6 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, it looks like this. Next, we'll move to the second 2 blocks across that we placed from this one. So find this area, and on the, let's see, left side of it, we'll place 3 blocks going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, and, whoops, that's 2. Delete that. Next, we'll move to this part where we have the 2 blocks going diagonal, and from this block, I want you to place 2 blocks going up on the right side of it. 1, 2. Delete that. So it should look exactly like this. And we can go ahead and, let's see, we can go ahead and fill this area in. Just fill in this area. I'll show you where I am. I'll fly back a little bit. Alright, fill in that small area and that 1 space block right there with spruce wood planks. Just fill that in so it looks exactly like that. So now let's move to the next section, which is on the left side of it. And starting on top of these 3 black walls going across, you'll place 3 blocks going across. It's going to be 2 sets of 3s going across. So this is 1, 2, 3. Next one, 1, 2, 3. So it looks like this. Then you'll place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. And then 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. And I'll fly back a bit so you can see that we place 3 blocks, 3 blocks, 2 blocks, and 3 blocks. Now, starting on top of this black wall, I want you to place 4 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just select the placement blocks, so it should look like this. Now, from this block, we'll place 2 blocks going up on the left side of it. 1, 2, and then 1 block diagonal. That's 1. Alright. Next, let's see, where could it be a lot easier? Yeah, let's go up here. It should be a lot easier to follow. Until we find this area here to where we have the 6 blocks going up and the 4 blocks going up. Starting underneath the 4 blocks going up, we'll place 5 blocks going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should look exactly like this. Alright, now from this block, I want you to place 1 block diagonal down to the right side. So that's 1, and then from this block, you'll place 2 blocks going down on the right side of it. 1, 2, and then 1 block diagonal down to the right. So it looks like this. Just delete those. Okay. Now, starting, let's see, going up a little bit, you see these black walls, these 4 blocks going diagonal. Starting on top, or rather underneath the first block here, I want you to place four blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like this. Now starting underneath it, it's going to be a link 3 blocks going across. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then starting at the center of these 3 blocks going across, which is right here, underneath it we'll place 7 blocks going across. Going across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it should end right there. And then we'll place a linked 2 blocks going across. So that's 1, 2. And then we'll place 1 block going underneath that block right there. So it should look exactly like this. Alright, so now let's move to this 1 black wool here. And underneath it, we'll place 3 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. Move to the right. And underneath this black wool, we'll place 3 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. So it should look exactly like this. Next, we'll place 2 blocks going down on the right side of this. So that's 1, 2. Now, starting next to this black wool here, that should be leveled, in between the spruce wood planks and the black wool, we'll place 2 blocks going down. So starting from there, that's 1, 2. Okay? Then we'll move to this black wool. Underneath it, we'll place 3 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. So it should look like that. Alright. We'll move to the next part right here. And underneath this black wool, what we're going to do is place 2 blocks going down. 1, 2. Move to the next one. And then 3 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. So it should look like this. Alright, so now let us find, still remaining in the same area, this is the first 3 blocks that we placed that went across. I want you to go and find the second one right here. Now, on the middle block, put a placement block there, and then put 1 spruce wood plank on top of that. So we have that floating. And then you'll place 3 blocks going up on the left side of it. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then 2 blocks going up on the left side. Actually, it's going to be 2 sets of 2s going up. It's not going to be across, it's going to be up. 2 sets of 2s. So that's 1, 2, and 1, 2. So it should look exactly like this. Alright. And now we'll place, let's move down a bit until we find 3 blocks going up that we placed. And on the first block, we'll place a placement block right next to it, on the left side of it, so it looks like this. Now, next to it, starting next to it, we'll place 5 blocks going diagonal up to the left, starting next to it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just delete these. So it looks exactly like this. Alright. Next, from this block, we'll place 2 blocks going up on the left side. 1, 2. And then 1 block diagonal. That's 1. And then 2 blocks going up on the left side. That's 1, 2. And just delete these blocks. Okay. Next, we'll fly up a bit until we find the 7 blocks going across. Starting on the left side, you'll count 2. And so this is 1, and this is 2. Alright, so underneath this one, we'll place 3 blocks going diagonal down to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. And it should look like this. Alright. And that does it for this part of the hair. So now let's move to this larger part right here. This is actually going to go up to the upper part, so this is going to be annoying a little bit. And starting next to this black wool here, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2. So it looks like this. And then you'll just follow this path, and you'll place 2 blocks going up. 1, 2. And now 4 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 2 blocks going up. 1, 2. Now 3 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3. Now 6 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you can see, the number of blocks that we placed matched the number of blocks that were next to it. Alright, so now we'll place 4 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll place 5 blocks going diagonal, starting on top of that black wall there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll place 2 blocks going up. 1, 2. And now 2 blocks going up again. 1, 2. Now 1 block diagonal. And now 2 blocks going up. 1, 2. And now 1 block diagonal. So it looks like that. And then we'll place, let's see, 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. And then you'll place a linked 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. So it looks like that. And then you'll place a linked 4 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now moving a little bit to the right on top of this black wall, we'll place 2 blocks going diagonal. 1, 2. And then 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. And then another 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. And now 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. And now starting in the center, on the center of the 3 blocks that we just placed right here, starting right there, we'll place 8 blocks going across to the right side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's move to the upper level, and we'll place 5 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we'll place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. Next level, we'll place another 2 blocks going across. 1, 2. Now on the next level, you'll place 6 sets of 2 linked blocks. That's 6 sets of 2 linked blocks on top of this one. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6. And no, I'm not going to repeat that or go slow because I literally made a 12-minute video explaining all of this. And believe me, this is going to get a lot harder if you don't understand or can't follow. So now on top of this block, I'll place a block there. So it should look exactly like this. Alright, so now let's move down a bit until we find these 2 black walls going across. Alright, now you're going to start on the right side of the block here. And you're going to be placing 3 sets of 2 linked blocks. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. And next, you'll place a linked 2 blocks going across from this one. 1, 2, and then you'll place 2 blocks going on top of it. 1, 2. So don't get confused. This is still 3 sets of 2 linked blocks, and now we have like a box. Alright, so from now on, this is going to be called a linked box. So a box is essentially that. It's just 4 blocks that still in a square shape. And this is linked, because you should already know what linked means from the video that I have up. Alright, so now we'll place, on top of this block, we'll place a linked 2 blocks going across. So that's 1, 2. And then just what I just taught you right now from here, I want you to place a linked box going across. So that's 1. So that's a linked box right here. This is a box that's linked to the 2 blocks going across, because you should already know by now what a link is. Okay, so now we'll place, let's see, from this block here, we'll place 2 sets of 2s that are linked going across. So that's 1, whoops, that's 1, 2, 1, 2, so it should look like this. Now, on top of this block here, we'll place 3 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now let's move down, and this is the 3 blocks right here, and this is the 2 blocks going across. So this is the bottom of the 3 blocks going up. So starting on the bottom of it, we'll place 6 blocks going up alongside of it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should look like this. Alright. Now I want you to find going a little bit to the right. These 2 black walls going up. On the top block, I want you to place 2 blocks going across. 1, 2, and a block underneath the first block that we just placed. So it looks like this. I am so ready to rage quit this tutorial. I wonder if that's ever happened. Someone just rage quitting out of a tutorial. I've messed up this part. You're not going to see it because I'm going to edit it out. I've messed up this part 6 or 7 times. Just wasted an hour's worth of recording. Just over and over and over. It's just... Ugh. But I'll continue my suffering for you because you're not going to see it. So to you, the suffering never existed. But to me, it's real. It's all real. So I want you to find, see where I am? I want you to find that one block, this one block here. And next to it, you'll place 1 spruce wood plank there. Okay. Now, we'll place on the upper level 3 blocks going across. So that's, whoops, 1, 2, 3, delete that. And then we'll place 4 blocks going across on the upper level. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete that. And then we'll place 1 block going diagonal to the left. Whoops. So that's 1. And then, let's see. Yeah, coming back over here. Starting in the second block going in, right here, we'll place 3 blocks going across to the right side. So that's 1, 2, 3. So it looks exactly like that. Now from this block, we'll place on the upper level, let's see, 19 blocks. We'll place 19 blocks going across to the left side. So it's going to look like this. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's 19. Let's fly back and then delete that and then fill in this area with spruce wood planks. Alright. So now let's go back over here and you see how this one block has nothing underneath it? We'll start on top of it. So starting on top of this block here, starting right there, we'll place 12 blocks going across to the left side. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now let's go down here. Starting, let's see, on the 4th block going in. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Fingers crossed I don't mess this up again for like the 8th time. Alright. So we'll place 6 blocks going across to the left side. So starting from there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 blocks going across. Alright. Now starting underneath this block here that doesn't have anything on top of it, we'll place 4 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now that we have 4. Starting on top of it, or underneath this block that has nothing on top of it, starting underneath it, we'll place 3 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3. So it looks exactly like this. Now we'll place 9 sets of 2 linked blocks going across. So 9 sets of 2 linked blocks going across, starting underneath this block, going down across. All right, so that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 9, and that's 9. Alright, that's 9 blocks. Alright, so now we will place another 2 link blocks going across. 1, 2, and then we'll place 2 blocks going across underneath it. 1, 2. So this is a box. And this is what I'm going to refer this to as a linked box. And a box consists of just 4 blocks in a square shape. So it looks like that. So it's a linked box. New term. Alright. Now we will place 3 blocks going down underneath this block here. So that's 1, 2, 3. And we'll do the exact same thing. We'll mirror this on the left side. So 1, 2, 3. So it looks like that, like a rectangle. Alright. Now underneath this block, we'll place a linked box going down. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2. So it looks like that. You see how it looks like a linked box? Linked box. And these are just 2 linked going across. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright. And this is a linked box. Linked box. Cool. Alright, now we will place 2 sets of 2s going across to the left side underneath it. So 2 sets of 2s. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's linked. I don't know if I've said that. So it's 2 sets of 2 linked blocks going across. So it looks like that. Alright, so now we'll place a linked box from there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a linked box. It should look exactly like that. Alright, so now we will place 4 blocks going down, starting underneath this block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do the exact same thing on the left side of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should look like that. Now we'll place 2 sets of 2 linked boxes. So this is a box. You know what a link is. You know what a set is. So now we'll place 2 sets of 2 linked boxes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So that's a set. See, that's a box, and that's a box, and they're linked. So now we'll place 7 sets of 2 linked blocks going across. So 7 sets of 2 linked blocks going across. All right. So that's 1, 2. Whoops. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 7. So it should look exactly like that. Now we'll place a linked box going across. So it's going to look like that. That's a linked box. And now we'll place 2 sets of 2s going across. So it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. And then we'll place a linked blocks going across. So a linked box, actually, right here. So it looks exactly like that. All right, now, underneath this block here, we'll place 5 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks exactly like that. And now, coming back to this area right here, where we started with the 5 blocks, on the left side of it, right here, we'll place 8 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And OMG, I actually did it right, because it fit perfectly. And then on top of these 2 blocks going up, we'll place that there. Yay! Even though I wasted an hour in this part that you'll never get to see. Alright, so let's fly up here, because I've already wasted a lot of time, and I have a lot of things to record today. Starting on next to these 2 blocks going up on the lower level. Find this, by the way. It shouldn't be too hard to find if you see where I am. So right here, underneath this, well, not underneath it, but next to it, on the left side of it, we'll place 2 sets of 2 link blocks going across up to the left. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. All right, now we'll place 4 linked blocks going across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll place 3 linked blocks going across, but starting on the second one in. So starting from there, that's 1, 2, 3. All right, now we'll place 21 linked blocks going across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now that we have 21, let's fly back over here. And we'll count 2 blocks in. So this is 1, 2. So starting on this block on top of it, we'll place 15 blocks going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 blocks. Alright, so now let's move down here to where we have the 21 blocks in. Going across, we'll count 5 blocks in. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 5th one, it should have nothing on top of it. And we'll place 7 blocks going across to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks. Now we'll count 2 in. So this is 1, 2. Should have nothing on top of it. And we'll place 4 blocks going across to the left side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking like that. Now we'll do the same thing. Starting underneath this block, 4 blocks going across to the left. So it's 4 blocks across, 4 blocks across, 7 blocks across, 21 blocks across. And just to make sure you're doing it right, this should look like a box. See this, how it looks like a square? And then right here, next to it, it looks also like a square that's linked to that. And the 2 blocks going across. Alright, now we will place 3 blocks going across, creating another square. So it's going to look like this. So that's 1, 2, 3. So it's going to look exactly like that. Now, we will place 6 linked blocks. Actually, no, 6 sets of 2 linked blocks. So 6 sets of 2 linked blocks going across, going down to the left side. So it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6. 6 sets of 2 linked blocks. Now we're going to create something else. Now we're going to create a linked box or a linked square. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you see this square, just like those up there. So it's a linked square. A new term is born. All right, now we'll place a linked 2 blocks going across. 1, 2, like that. And now we'll place a linked square. So it's going to look like this. A linked square. You see that? All right. Now that we've got that, we'll place we'll place 2 blocks going across, but it's going to be linked. So 2 linked blocks going across. That's 1, 2, and now a linked square again. A linked square. So it's going to look exactly like this. You see that? It's a box, a link, a box, a link, a box, a link. All right. So there's 3 boxes going diagonal. You see here? 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down underneath this block here. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the left side of it. 1, 2, 3. Matching it so it looks like a rectangle. Alright, now, underneath this block, we'll place 3 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. So it looks exactly like that. Now we'll move to the next side of this, on the left side actually, and we'll place 4 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should look like that. Now we'll place a linked 4 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see how this is linked? Should look like that. And now we'll place a linked 3 blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. And now we'll place a linked 2 blocks going down. 1, 2. Now we'll place 2 linked blocks going down. So that's 1, 2. And now 3 sets of 2 linked blocks going across. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. And now we'll place 2 sets of 2 linked blocks going down. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. And now we'll place 3 sets of 2 linked blocks going across. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 sets of 2 linked blocks going across. And now we'll place 2 sets of 2 linked blocks going down. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. And now we'll place 3 linked blocks going down. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then we'll place 5 linked blocks going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it should touch that black wall there. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and we'll continue on in the final part, part 4. So be sure to stay tuned in for that. Like I mentioned in part 2, there's going to be a lot of detail in her hair, and we're still not done with it. There's still a good portion that needs to be filled in, but we'll go ahead and finish that in the final part. So stay tuned for part 4 and also more Minecraft videos.